Hello, welcome to, this is going to be a kind of, in fact, a very different video than I've ever done in Hearthstone. I'm really happy because I finally got the, after I played Hearthstone for many months now, and one of the problems that I had, one of the main problems really, is that I couldn't get full screen to work, and I kept on just finding it like weird how the monitor, how the resolution options never had the resolution I wanted to record in, and so it's always cut off. But anyway, the point is I fixed it now, so that's cool. I've never actually done like a video where I talk about various different decks that I've got. So what I'll just do, I think, is I'll just go through. I've always, since I played this game, I've always just kept the same lot here. So I'll just look at what decks I've got at the moment. And yeah, I don't really name any of them. I just have one of each class. So for the rogue, what I wanted to do is earlier I actually had a Wailing Soul deck, and I've always liked the but it was a Druid Wailing Soul deck. And this is just a deck which I'm messing around with. It's not particularly good. It's kind of okay though. So I've got the Sun Fury Protectors with the Defender of Arguses in there. And I've also, the only new card from Goblins vs Gnomes that actually benefits from the Wailing Soul is potentially the Ogres, and of course the Mogul the Ogre as well, the legendary card, which I don't actually have. But yeah, so I've got this. One combo that is really good, aside from, this is not really the sort of deck that I would play. You may have seen, I've made some videos over the Pirate deck. But yeah, one cool thing is when you can get your Tinker's Sharp Sword Oil with preparation. That's really what I like to play with the with preparation, because then you can get it for 1 mana, and if you've got a mini on the board, it's very, very powerful. I also like to sometimes use the Cogmaster's Wrench as well when I was doing a more mech focused deck. Goblin Auto Barber is probably the best card there is. Yeah, I mean, in the mech deck I was playing with Goblin Auto Barber, Iron Sensei, very good card, that sort of stuff. Yeah, like I said, I haven't really got that many. I've got certain legendaries, but I haven't got a huge amount. Anyway, so there's the rogue that I've got at the moment. Let's see what we've got on the mage side of things. This is basically a mech mage deck, fairly standard mech mage deck. So the Clockwork Gnome, the Mana Worm, and Neutron. It's always difficult to know when to get the Mech Warper out. If you can get it out and then you start getting out really good stuff with it. I think I may have sorted out, yeah, I got the Paladin. The Paladin Shredder is probably one of the best mechs there is, because that's basically, if you think about it, it's about 6. You're bound to get, you'd normally get like a 2-2, wouldn't you, on average, I suppose. So it'd probably be a 6-5 for 4, which is pretty good. Yeah, sources are printed. Lots of early game stuff. I also got Sneed's Old Shredder, which works very well with. Yeah, one of the good things about Sneed's Old Shredder, actually, if you use it with the Iron Sensei in the Rogue deck, which I was speaking about, is well, obviously that will get buffed, but also I was going to mention the Boom Bots will also get buffed, which is more likely because Boom Bots are also mechs. So anything that does good stuff with mechs, you know, they may also what's the name of that thing? What's it called again? Let me just check it. I've got that correct. Yeah, the Junk Bot. That's it. And there's also yeah. So that would probably benefit. Can you imagine playing that after Dr. Boom? That'd be quite cool. And then you can just run the 1/1s into whatever you want, and then you know you can end up with a 5/9 just by playing that immediately after Dr. Boom, assuming all your 1/1s are alive, which of course is a big assumption. But yeah, I don't think the Polymorph was actually in, but I wanted Polymorph in there. So yeah, this is a pretty cool deck though. Pretty standard though, so it's not really. Now with the Hunter, obviously I like playing Hunter, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. Is this a different one? Yeah, you see I've got Cool Pet in it, which is not really that used that much, I suppose. And it's this deck with the Timberwolf. This is another kind of cool deck. So a lot of these cards, like River Crocodilus, is normally played in Arena, as is the Snapjaw and the Kodo and stuff like that. Well, Kodo maybe not so much. And I put in King Crush as well there. And a few traps. Cool Pet though, I don't know. The problem is that a lot of the beasts are not really. I mean, there's not enough like you don't have like a magical beast sort of thing that can actually do that. That's the problem. If you had like a magical beast, it would probably make more sense. Because then you could really go much more than the beast. But obviously, you know, you've got like various results which are not going to result in this card being any benefit beyond the draw card for 2 mana. And of course, in that case, Flare would be better. But yeah, it's not really the sort of deck I like to play. I normally I prefer playing the Undertaker, Death Rattle decks and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I do like certain cards. I do like Feign Death. Have I got 2 of them? Yeah, I've got 2 of them now. I do like Feign Death. The new weapon is pretty cool as well with the Hunter. I don't know, I haven't got 2 the Steam Wheel. That card I don't think is that useful really. Metal Tooth Leaper is a great card though. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of combos you can play with a Metal Tooth Leaper in a mech deck. That's probably one of the best mech cards really. It's like the Iron Sensei, but it's immediate, so it's cool. And we've got for Warlock. Warlock, yeah, I'm not sure what I was doing with this one. This is, yeah, I mean, this is the type of Warlock with the implosion. That's generally that's how you do it. You just put in. Yeah, it's not obviously not. I don't like to play the giant decks. I don't really find that. I don't know. I've never really played them actually. Played a Kezan Mystic. This game is amazing in Arena, Kezan Mystic, because you always get secrets in Arena, and it can just completely change the game. Very cool card that. Of course, you've got Shadow Flame, Big Game Hunter, and of course the ever-present Dark Bombs, and yeah, I mean, not really a deck I play much. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really got that many cards. I think until I get Mal'Ganis, because I haven't got Mal'Ganis, unfortunately. I haven't really got what I need. Demon Heart's a pretty cool card. Floating Watcher, I do like that card there. But yeah, I mean, the problem is it doesn't really. It'd probably synergise better with Bane of Doom than any others, because obviously with Demon Heart and what's it? Demon Fire, then it's not going to work, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really play Warlock, but I may play more Warlock. Obviously, Void Caller is a core Warlock card there. Right, so Shaman. What do we have for Shaman? Yeah, Shaman is fairly standard. You know, you got Flame Tongues, Nerubian Eggs, and then, you know, and all the reincarnate stuff. Yeah, I think having Crackles and Lightning Bolts is pretty useful. Got Baron Rivendare in there. Put Paladin Skygon. I actually quite like this card. I don't think it's very popular, but I think it's quite a good card, really. You know, for 6 mana, that's probably like a 9. Probably like at least an 8/8, probably most of the time. But yeah, I mean, Farsight is a very good card. You see, the thing about Farsight is it's actually better than Cool Pet for the Hunter, because at least Farsight, you know, it doesn't matter what card you get there. And I've got like a pretty hefty end game. After Shaman we have Warrior. What's my Warrior looking like at the moment? Not great. I basically put in Sneed in almost everything. As soon as I got it, I just put it in everything. Generally, the way I like to play those, like a bit like this actually, I like to play very weapon heavy. In fact, with the Rogue, that's also what I'd like to do, because the Rogue and the Warrior by far the best. I mean, the Rogue is probably slightly better actually than the Warrior in terms of weaponry, simply because the Rogue, you can, you know, you Goblin Auto Barber, you do Deadly Poison, could even do things like Green Skin. There's all different ways to buff up the weapon, and of course a lot of decks nowadays run Harrison Jones and stuff, but it's still pretty cool to buff all that stuff up. And I got the Black Knight. You see, one of the good things, I did get at least, I've got certain cards. I made sure I got Dr. Boom. I don't actually have Ragnaros, which is a little bit bad, but And also the card that I really want for the rogue deck is Blood Mage Thalanos. I mean, my rogue deck that you saw is not really my rogue deck. I was just pissing around with the silent stuff. Because I did, because one of my favourite decks in the past was the Druid Wailing Soul deck. But yeah, Wailing Soul decks just not. It's probably not quite enough. And I think with the Druid it worked a bit better because you could have Keeper of the Grove as well. But yeah, unfortunately, Silence is a little bit overlooked. The spell break is not really that good. A 4/3 is not really good enough for what it does for Silence. You know, and of course, Priest is good with Master Spell and Silence card, but unfortunately, Priest is not really as good in general. Playing it that way. But yeah, so I've got two brawls I think is pretty necessary. And yeah, this can work out pretty well. This is not a bad deck, I would say. It's got the Shield Slam that you need. Lower Theb is always good in almost every deck. And of course Dr. Boom and Grommash. And two Enrage actions in the form of Whirlwind and Cruel Taskmaster. Paladin, not really a deck I play. This I was just trying to do the... again, it was more of the Blood Knight sort of style deck. I do like Scarlet Purifier though, that's a pretty cool card. Because almost every deck really, you know, it's probably going to have some kind of death rattle, whereas stuff that just deals with like weapons and stuff like that is not potentially as useful. Blessing King's obviously a very good card. All Peacekeeper I think should be in almost every Paladin deck. It's very, very strong. And yeah, of course, what I would like to do though is but the problem is I don't think I've actually got some of the cards I need for. I've got Muster for Battle actually, but I don't have the Quartermaster, do I? No, I don't think I actually do have Quartermaster. How much does Quartermaster cost? I think it's 5 actually. I've got 1 Quartermaster, yeah. You see, Cobalt Guardian actually probably be better in this deck. But that gives it a more mech focused. And what I'd like to do is actually try to do more mech. I think one of the things that in general what's happened is that they've all sort of been integrated. And I suppose that's probably the way it will be. But there's certainly like I can certainly see mech decks that have not perhaps been as popular. I've never seen this in a deck of Cobalt Guardian, but it looks pretty good to me. Imagine if you Cobalt Guardian. You know, play a low. You know, you could easily just do that, then play like a Noyatron, and then play Blood Knight. You know, something like that would be pretty cool. And of course, you could do all that in a single turn late in the game. But it depends. Then you would have to look. Yeah, so there's lots of things you can do with that. The Priest deck I've got. This is a pretty strong Priest deck. Basically, from what I can tell, the way the Priest deck, you just have a lot of. It's all pretty regular, and then you have a lot of power stuff at the end. Light of the Naru is a great card. Obviously, works very well with the Soul Priest because the target will always be damaged if you've got the Soul Priest down, whatever you do to it. And yeah, I mean. It's pretty cool though, and you get the Light Warden as well. The Light Warden is a very good card anyway. Of course, you don't really want to actually just have it as an actual card in the deck, but to actually get a Light Warden and then have an effect as well makes it very powerful, this card. The Pyromancer, of course, very useful. Works very well with Power World Shield, especially of course against like Paladin, stuff like that, and against sort of Face Hunter. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I just put a lot of my big cards that I've got. I don't have. I mean, I've got Ysera, but I don't have Ragnaros. So, I mean, the thing is, probably I would have just put Ragnaros there. So, I mean, yeah. But I do have Prophet Velen, which is good. I don't have Vol'jin. Vol'jin is a very good card as well. Very likely you get sort of like 6-8 out of that. And yeah. And then to kill something with 2 is going to be pretty simple at that point in the game. Yeah, I do like Yeah, Shadow Bomb never gets used for some reason. But there is a possible way to use that in a rushdown deck with Mind Blast. I think I did try it. But of course it's kind of hard to rush down when you don't have weapons. Possibly you'd need to do Shadow Form as well and really and just have everything like that. But if you've got that, then it's sort of it's kind of going in on the abilities of the Soul Priest anyway. So yeah. And what else is there? The Shrinkmeister, I do like that. That's also another interesting deck, isn't it? Shadow Boxer is very, very good as well. Yeah, Shrinkmeister, of course, you can use that and then easily get a Cabal Shadow Priest or a Shadow Madness out of that. You know. Velen's Chosen is, I don't think it's so good. Upgraded Repair Bot, this is interesting because this guy is really, when you think about it, 5/5 and he gives friendly mech 4 hours, pretty good. But there's not really much in the way of mech cards in the priest deck, so it'd be quite hard to do a mech deck with that. Yeah, pretty good deck this one though. And of course the Druid, this is the Druid deck I've been playing for a while. Again, very straightforward deck. Druid stuff is very straightforward nowadays. Innovate, Wild Growth. You know, you just hold on for that Savage Roar at the end. Get the Shredders out. Get your early Shades out to, you know, attack when necessary. There's all sorts of things with these. Your Ancients, Law, Force of Nature, obviously the Sludge Belcher. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really need to speak much about Druid. Druid is still probably my favourite class. I like the I kind of like the rigidity. I mean, there are actually new Druid techniques out, I guess. I haven't got Malorn yet. Could do with that. Yeah, and when I used to play with the Wailing Soul deck, with Druid, I would put in the Mark of Nature, stuff like that. Now with the Poison Seeds, yeah, I mean, yeah, one thing that would be really cool is you could just use all the cards in all the decks. Can you imagine doing Poison Seeds and then Feign Death or something like that? That'd be cool. Druid of the Fang is potentially very, very powerful, but then again, you're not going to have a beast. I mean, I don't understand why this card is really. This is more like a hunter card, isn't it? You would think. Yeah, that can become very, very powerful. That thing. Mech Bear Cat again is not very useful. Recycle. I don't know. It's one of those cards that you're not really sure what it's for. It's a bit like Kidnapper or something. But yeah, I mean, but basically what you do in a Druid mill deck. But the problem is mill decks don't really work. You know, with Grove Tender and you know, you naturalise and then you put in the what's the name again? The Cold Light Oracle and then stuff like that. But yeah, and like I say, with the what you do with the rogue deck is the best thing to do with the rogue deck is you put in this guy and then South Sea Deckhand. You see, South Sea Deckhand. This is a good way that you could play the rogue deck. For instance, you could do if you've got, say you just you get out your knives and you do South Sea Deckhand, preparation, the Sharp Sword Oil, and then instantly you've got 10 damage there. No, well, sorry, you'd have 4 and then you'd have 5 on this, so you'd have 9 damage. So yeah, so if you say you've already got knives out, right, you do 1, 0, 1. So you can spend 2 mana for 9 immediate damage. So that's pretty strong. Well, that'd be, sorry, 1 to 4 and then 2 to 5, yeah. Yeah. So that's very, very strong. If you've got the ship's cannon out, even more stuff like that. And of course the Corsair will come free there. But yeah, this Salty Dog is a bit shit. Again, it is the thing with the priest, with the not the priest, the pirate cards, in that the health is actually pretty low. It's the same with the One-Eyed Cheat. You think, oh, this thing's shit, but actually with 4 attack and 1, if you just keep on, you know, if you've got the ship's cannon, it can be very, very powerful. And the rogue deck is certainly a deck which I want to, you know, for instance, if I was making a rogue deck, I'll just quickly make a rogue deck here. I'll make I could, you know, like I could show you perhaps the, you know, like I say, I'd probably do that, wouldn't I? Like, let's make a sort of more, if I made a more sort of piratey rogue deck, what I would do is I would certainly want this stuff, and I would want this and this. You would need the ship's cannon, and I'd want Greenskin, and the Corsair, and the South Sea Captains, right? So you'd want all that. And then you'd want the Deadly Poison. Yeah, but I definitely want the preparation in it. And then you probably want that, and you'd want that. Yeah, we can't take the wrench here for obvious reasons. We'd want that though, the Auto Barber. And then obviously the Sharp Sword Oil. And yeah, you see, and the good thing about preparation, of course, is that it will work very nicely with Sharp Sword and with Sprint. You see, realistically, if you're going to do that, you're not doing it for the Deadly Poison or the Backstab, you're doing it for the Sprint. Yeah, and the problem is, yeah, and in the original deck, you'd actually have Jeeves in there, so you might want to have, like, say, Gallywix and like a Jeeves in there, perhaps. So you can see the mana curve would be really focused on that. So that might be an interesting deck, for instance, to play. So you've got a little bit of draw, but not much. But of course, you will be able to buff up the knives quite easily. So that's perhaps a deck you could play. But I find Eviscerate, I find myself wanting to take out Eviscerate quite a lot. You know, because honestly, I prefer draw to, you know, I prefer maybe, this is probably, you know, for instance, I'll probably just play like this deck now. So I'd like to see if this one could work nicely. You know, just so we've got like, you know, we've got the Sprint, probably get something out of Trade Prince, probably get something out of Jeeves, Fan of Knives, Shiv. You just want to keep that draw going, even with a low cost, you know, but yeah. But like I said, anyway, I just wanted to speak about various different decks. Obviously, at the moment, I'm kind of interested in getting the Rogue deck quite good. And yeah, and so, I mean, I can review what cards I've got. It's not that many, to be honest. If we look at Epic, for instance, we can see how I'm doing on the Epic front. So I don't have Dark Whispers, don't have Tree of Life, got the others and Druid. Hunter, I've got basically, oh yeah, I got rid of one of my Snake Traps. Don't have Sniper, don't have Echo of Medivh, don't have Weesh Spellstopper. This is a good card. I'd like to try this. I've been thinking about this with Ancient Mage and stuff. That'd be pretty interesting. We've got an Ancient Mage and a Weesh Spellstopper. That would actually work out quite nicely, I think. I've actually got at least one of most of these things. Don't have Shadowfall, don't have Light Bomb. This is a very strong card. Doesn't kill Nerubian Eggs though. I've only got one Sabotage. Sabotage I've actually been using a lot. That's a very good card. I may actually incorporate that into my rogue deck that I just made. Yeah, I've got a decent amount of cards. Could do another Farsight there. Pit Lord didn't really like. This card's pretty good. But again, I don't play Warlock much. This card never gets talked about, but it looks pretty good to me. If you've got like a, you know, if you've got like a, well, I suppose the only really situation is good when you've got like a ball of 8/8s against you, and then if that's the case, you're probably lost anyway. Crush there, I think, is very strong. And yeah, I haven't got any these cards I really want to mess around with. The Recombobulator, they look really cool. And the same with the Hobgoblin. Unfortunately, I got rid of Gazlo, which I did have. That'd probably be pretty good. Mini Mage again looks pretty cool. Actually, this again, this look, you know, just because of the stat line, looks like a good card for the Rogue deck. Actually, funnily enough, I know it's not really. You'd probably have to change that around a little bit, but when I see a 4/1, I think that's Rogue. Well, not the Mag Rager. I actually did get a Clockwise China. So yeah, so there's the Epics front. Legendary, not so good. I really, I had to get rid of a lot. I haven't got Malorn, I've got Scenarios, I haven't got Godzilla, I've got King Crush, I haven't got Flame Leviathan. Again, Flame Leviathan's not really that good anyway. Not too worried about it. I haven't got either of the Paladin ones. I've got Velen, I haven't got Vol'jin, Drapers, I haven't got Edwin. I actually did get. The thing is, I've had a lot of these cards, but I just got rid of them. I haven't got Neptulon. I haven't got either of the Warlock cards. This card I would love to get though, Time Juggernaut. And I'd love to, I haven't got Alexstrasza as well, or Baron Geddon. You can see here, Thalanos I would say is probably the #1 priority just because it's such a good card. And there's so little in terms of spell damage. When it comes to big cards, some of it is kind of replaceable. Yorkacho, very meh. Millhouse, not really. Nat Pagle, not really. Mukla, I did actually have Mukla, I got rid of it. Mukla's a good card. Tinkmaster Oathboard, not really. Blingtron 3000. It's hard to say really about that one. It possibly could be quite good though. I've got Greenskin. Elite Tour, no. Harrison Jones, no. Harrison Jones I wouldn't mind getting. Elite Tour, not so much. Hemet Nestingwary doesn't look very good at all, really. Leroy Jenkins, I used to have that, got rid of it. Again, it's not that useful, especially after they nerfed it. It used to be 4 mana cost. Mimiron's Head, this is for the Mega Wind Fury creature. Which is obviously the Wind Fury creature you had 4 times. The Voltron thing. I don't know. It would be nice to do it, but it's hardly really a priority. You know, you'd be so hard to do. Ken is one card I really would like. It's a very, very strong card. That's probably the one really, that sort of very solid card that I'm missing. Gazlogan, I had it, but meh. Gelbin, not so useful. I've got Hogger. I don't know why I've got Hogger actually, or Illidan, but I do. I actually use them quite a lot. Mogul I wouldn't mind, just for some Ogre decks perhaps. Sylvan's good. The Beast I got, but got rid of it, it's crap. Black Knight's obviously very good. Toshli's a pretty good card in a mech deck. I'd certainly run that in a mech deck. Geddon, again, I would like to get Geddon. Geddon's very strong, very good. Dr. Boom, obviously I got. Trogsel the Earth Native, again, very strong card, wouldn't mind getting it. Foe Reaper 4000, again, very, very strong card. Gruul, not so much. Ragnaros, obviously, that's I've got. Would love to get Alexstrasza. Malagos would just be awesome to get it, but I haven't. And I actually did get Deathwing once. But yeah, Mechjunir Thermoplug, pretty good card to be honest. Nosdormu, meh. Onyxia, yeah, pretty good. With buffs and stuff, probably, you know, maybe put in Leo on that. Stuff like that, and I've got Ysera of course, and yeah. Anyway, that's about it for this video. So yeah, and anyway, like I say, all my videos now are going to be for Hearthstone. Are going to be in. You actually be able to see the whole screen. So if you were thinking about that cut off at the bottom, it's not going to happen anymore. So thanks for watching.